My name is Ernest M. Keeling. Welcome to this poetry reading, a critique of US imperialism in Southeast Asia. The 5 footnotes indicated in the text of the poem are read at the end, copyright. The title of this work is That Corny Old Lie. When you have a nation that totally lies, then you have no reality. Landings on the moon, giant leaps for mankind, for a baby torso proud of the rubble, gazing out, stony-eyed, vertebrae, entrails exposed to the sun, one arm severed, still lukewarm, digits intact on a hand so perfect, one can only imagine what alchemy of artistry permeated the fingertips. Day of that corny old lie, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Mother's skull like a broken vase, brain oozing like a spiral nebula, right parietal blown away, exposing teeth, mandible, temporal bone. Day of that corny old lie, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. At a brewmaker's village, ribs and tibias crack and spit on a human pyre. The ancient mystique of Buddhist tradition stirs the faculty of olfactory nerves. Day of that corny old lie, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Maps no longer make sense at all, of streets no longer streets at all, towns no longer towns at all, folk no longer folk at all, where survivors scrape with bucket and shovel, unable to cremate their compatriots whole. Paddies no longer paddies at all, water no longer drinkable, forests no longer forests at all, only cancers, birth defects, Agent Orange. Day of that corny old lie, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Forbidden city has a lacerated face, perfume river carries body parts, heaven fairy lady self-immolates, empress tomb wails a dead march, Lin Phuoc pagoda cries, tears of glass, citadel of Hue has a mutilated heart. Day of that corny old lie, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. No more children, no more laughing at My Lai village at steel of twilight, where death falls casual like Charlie Bravo and rain, only a silent archipelago of scattered dark islands. Day of that corny old lie, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Pay homage to the martyrs of Kent and Jackson, Alison Krauss, Jeffrey Glenn Miller, Sandra Lee Skewer, William Knox Schroeder, Philip Gibbs, James Green, Alice Hertz, Norman Morrison, Buddhist monks, heroes and heroines who beat the draft, and those who declared, "Not in my name." Day of that corny old lie, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. In the errant hour, we glean a truism of political art, that there's no atrocity beyond the president's ken. I'd rather use the nuclear bomb. The nuclear bomb? Does that bother you? I just want you to think big, Henry, for Christ's sakes. Day of that corny old lie. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Footnotes. 1. This work is a homage to the heroic people of Vietnam and the winning of Saigon, now Ho Chi Minh City, 30 April 1975. 2. This pithy observation, which I have used as an epigraph, was made by Gore Vidal. 3. On 21 July 1969, when the US genocidal war in Vietnam was at its height, Neil Armstrong began his historic moonwalk with the words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." 4. Charlie and Bravo were the two US military companies guilty of war crimes when they massacred 500 Vietnamese villages in My Lai in 1968. 5. Nixon to Kissinger. Nixon White House tapes, 25 April 1972. Thank you for listening.